Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. It's perhaps difficult at the end of this 10-day period of national mourning to find new things or fresh things to say, except to express that on a personal level I'm surprised by the deep sense of loss and reflection that I have had personally. Indeed, a surprise that my teenage self would be almost horrified by. As a teenage political geek, I spent much time thinking about constitutions and reforms, but I have to say not much time thinking about monarchy. Indeed, if you asked me about the royal family, I'd refer you to my dear departed Aunt Mary, who was both a corgi breeder and probably had the best collection of commemorative china in Edinburgh. And I'm not sure if her corgis were actually directly related to those of the Queen, or if that was just heavily implied. But it is this sense of personal reaction which I think has been shared across the nation, and indeed across the nations, because hers was a remarkable life. And for all of us who aspire to public service, she stands as a shining example. Because while I think the last few days have been an example of state ceremony, and those things always come with a sense of shared experience and a sense of identity, what has, I think, been remarkable is how that has been expressed. As the Queen's coffin passed the crowds, there were cheers and applause. And in the first instance, I wondered, is that an appropriate reaction? But I think it absolutely was, because while the people were absolutely mourning, they were also giving thanks. Thanks to a remarkable person, a remarkable life, and for the job that she did. Because above all else, and has been mentioned by John Swinney and Jeremy Balfour, hers was a job that she did for others. It was a job that she did not apply for, she did not ask to do. It was a job that she knew she needed to do on behalf of us all. And it was this selfless sense of duty that she performed for 70 years that I think is truly remarkable and is, I think, the reflection that so many people have had. The fact that she managed to do that job for all of those years and not express her personal opinions, to simply reflect those of the nation, I think is her outstanding legacy, and I think is is truly remarkable. But above all else is also the values and the virtues that she embodied. She put others first. She, as a person, her job was indistinguishable from her family life. That is, I think, a very difficult thing to balance. And while we're not all monarchs, we are all family members, we are all friends. And it's this sense of putting others first that I think is why we're truly giving thanks. Because she put our interests first, and she stands as an example of what we should do, to put others first. And my reflection and what I would say to my teenage self is that while structures and institutions matter, it's values and deeds and what you do with those things matter above all else. And in that, as monarchs or ministers, as shop workers or as teachers, as parents, neighbours or friends, that is the outstanding example and legacy of Her Majesty the Queen. God rest her soul, and God save the King.